Ever been in a conversation where you just couldn't think of the right thing to say, or felt like the perfect witty comeback hit you 5 minutes too late? Conversations can be tricky, especially when you are trying to keep them engaging and avoid those dreaded awkward silences. Whether you are at a party, in a meeting, or chatting with a friend, mastering the art of banter helps you connect with others and keep the dialogue flowing. The key is to have a flexible toolkit of techniques that you can draw from to ensure you are always ready with something to say, no matter the situation. In this discussion, you will learn how to use structured frameworks for conversation, avoid absolute questions that can stall dialogue, and inject humor with witty comebacks to playful teasing. By incorporating these approaches, you will be able to navigate conversations effortlessly, build rapport, and leave a lasting impression. So, ready to charm, amuse, and master the art of wit? Then let's dive into the conversation. To master the art of witty banter, you will need a toolkit that keeps conversations engaging, lively, and free of awkward silences. One effective approach involves using three frameworks: HPM, SBR, and EDR. These methods offer a variety of responses you can draw from to steer conversations in any direction, no matter the topic. HPM stands for History, Philosophy, and Metaphor. Let me repeat it. HPM stands for History, Philosophy, and Metaphor. It's all about personal input. When someone shares a story, you can respond with your own experience. For example, if they mention skiing, you might say, "That reminds me of the last time I went skiing in the Alps." Alternatively, you could share your opinion by saying something like, "I have always loved skiing because it's the perfect mix of adrenaline and nature." Or you can use a comparison. Skiing is like surfing on snow, it gives you the same rush. In contrast, SBR, specific, broad, and related. Let me repeat: specific, broad, and related. It's SBR. Focuses on the conversation itself. Here you can ask detailed questions like, "What kind of slopes did you try?" Broader questions give you more context, like asking, "Where did you go skiing?" You could even shift to a related topic by saying, "That sounds fun. Have you tried snowboarding?" Lastly, EDR, emotion, detail, and restatements, adds depth by engaging with the speaker's emotions and details. If someone tells you they went skiing last weekend, you could say, "It sounds like you had an amazing time," or ask, "How was it going through all that fresh snowfall?" Restating their words shows you are listening, like saying, "So you skied in the mountains last weekend?" By using these three methods, HPM for internal input, SPR for topic driven engagement, and EDR for emotional connection, you can keep conversations dynamic and meaningful. So, next time a friend tells you about their trip to mountains, you could start with a personal anecdote, dive deeper with specific questions, and then acknowledge their excitement. With practice, you will never run out of things to say, keeping the banter going smoothly. Irony aside, to keep conversations flowing, you should never speak in absolutes. Absolute questions, like asking someone for their all time favorite movie, can feel like an innocent conversation starter, but they tend to stall dialogue. Why? Because they put the other person on the spot, demanding a definitive answer that most people do not have ready. This type of question often leaves your conversation partner thinking too hard or feeling pressured, which can kill the momentum of a good conversation. The issue with absolute questions is that they give little wiggle room and can quickly become exhausting. Most people want to engage in light, enjoyable conversation, not a job interview. By asking someone to commit to a single ultimate favorite, you burden them with the task of digging deep into their preferences, which may not be easy to answer on the fly. They may end up stalling or worse, shutting down the conversation altogether. So, what's the solution? Avoid absolutes by making your questions broader and more flexible. Instead of asking, "What's your favorite movie ever?" try, "What are some of your favorite movies?" Or "Have you seen any good movies recently?" These variations take the pressure off and make it easier for people to answer. They can simply share something without feeling like they need to give the perfect answer, which keeps the conversation light and fun. In the end, good conversation is about making things easy for the other person. By avoiding absolutes, you allow the dialogue to flow naturally, creating a comfortable space for connection. With this small adjustment, you will find your conversations become more engaging and enjoyable for both sides. One way to make conversations more engaging and fun is to break the fourth wall. This term comes from the theater and film paradigm, where a character steps out of their role to speak directly to the audience. In conversation, breaking the fourth wall means stepping back and making a playful or insightful observation about the conversation itself, as though you are commenting from an outside perspective. This technique works best when used in a positive or curious way. For example, if your discussion takes an unexpected turn, you might say, "Wow, this conversation went in a weird direction, didn't it?" Or, "Did you really just reference a 90s boy band?" These kinds of comments show you are fully engaged and paying attention to the conversation at a deeper level. It's important to deliver these observations with a sense of curiosity so they come across as light-hearted, not judgmental. Be careful, though. Breaking the fourth wall with negative or critical comments can make the other person feel attacked, which could derail the conversation. For instance, saying, "Are you really turning this back to yourself again?" can feel condescending and create discomfort. The key to using this technique effectively is moderation and timing. It's a great tool to inject humor or highlight shared understanding, but overdoing it can make you seem patronizing. When used appropriately, breaking the fourth wall adds a sense of depth and connection to your conversations, making them more memorable and enjoyable for everyone involved. Imagine you are at a loud, crowded party struggling to make small talk. You turn to the person next to you and say, "It's so noisy in here. Can you believe how everyone's practically shouting?" Instantly, you have created a shared experience between the two of you, setting yourself apart from the rest of the room. This is the us against the world technique, a clever way to build rapport by making the other person feel like you are both part of an exclusive in group. This technique is simple. Observe something happening around you, then comment on it in a way that signals the two of you are on the same page, separate from everyone else. This shared understanding can range from something light-hearted, like noticing the volume at a party, to a more subtle observation, like, "Can you believe how awkward some of these conversations are?" The key is to create a small insider dynamic between you and the other person, which fosters a sense of connection. People naturally trust and like those who seem similar to them, and this technique taps into that by making the other person feel understood and aligned with you. Be sure to keep the tone positive. Negative or judgmental comments easily can backfire. By forcing on shared experiences and keeping it light, you can quickly build rapport and make the conversation more enjoyable for both of you. When used correctly, the us against the world technique is a subtle, effective way to make your interactions feel personal and memorable, leaving the other person feeling like they truly connected with you. One of the most effective ways to initiate and sustain engaging conversation is to set clear boundaries upfront. People are often hesitant to engage in conversation because they fear being trapped in a long time consuming interaction. By setting boundaries on the conversation, such as stating, I only have 10 minutes, but you reassure that other person that the conversation will be brief, which lowers their guard and makes them more likely to participate. This strategy works because it removes the uncertainty about how long the interaction will last. Many people are reluctant to talk because they have been in conversations dragged on endlessly. But by establishing a time limit, you offer a sense of control and safety. The other person knows they won't be stuck if they don't enjoy the conversation, which makes them more likely to say, sure, why not, and engage. You can use boundary statements in a variety of contexts, such as saying, I'm about to leave, but I would love to get your opinion on this. Or, I only have a minute, but I wanted to ask you quickly. This approach is especially effective in situations where people are busy or distracted, as it respects their time while encouraging them to engage. Once the conversation starts, you often find that the other person opens up and continues the dialogue naturally. Even if you do need to end it, you have created a positive interaction which can easily lead to future conversations. Setting boundaries help overcome initial hesitation, making your interaction smoother and more enjoyable for both parties. When conversations lag or stall, having fallback stories ready can help you keep things flowing smoothly. These are pre-prepared anecdotes designed to reignite interest and engagement. A good fallback story isn't just about filling the silence. It's a tool for steering the conversation toward a topic that sparks discussion and allows others to participate more easily. The structure of fallback story involves four key components: a bridging sentence, a brief story, your opinion on it, and specific questions to draw out the other person's thoughts. The bridging sentence transitions smoothly from a previous topic or silence into a new story. Something like, hey, you know what I heard recently? The story itself doesn't need to be long, just enough to introduce a scenario or concept. For example, you might mention a friend proposing to her partner, ignoring traditional gender roles. Next, share your opinion on the story, ideally in a positive or neutral way to make the other person comfortable. Finally, the most important part, ask a series of specific questions to encourage the other person to share their views. For instance, would you ever propose like that? How would you feel if your partner did? The power of fallback stories lies in their ability to engage the other person with universal themes like relationships, decisions, or moral dilemmas that almost anyone can relate to. By using stories that lead naturally to meaningful conversation, you will never run out of things to talk about, keeping the interaction lively and engaging. Witty, good natured teasing is a playful way to add humor to your conversations, build rapport, and showcase your sense of humor. It involves making light hearted, non personal jokes that others can enjoy without feeling criticized. However, teasing can easily backfire if not done carefully. So it's important to be mindful of your delivery and the topic you choose. The key to successful teasing lies in how you deliver it. Start with a deadpan, serious expression to create a bit of tension, but quickly relieve it by smiling, laughing, or saying, just kidding. This signals to the other person that you are being playful, not critical. The goal is to keep things light and fun, not to leave anyone feeling self conscious. When teasing, stick to a safe topic like someone's clothing, harmless habits, or minor mistakes. Things they won't take personally. For example, jokingly telling a friend, that jacket is a bold statement, or you burned the pancakes again, works well because these topics are superficial and won't hurt their feelings. On the other hand, avoid teasing people about their direct appearances, deeply held values, or personal life choices, as this can come across as mean spirited. Two effective techniques for witty teasing include disagreeing and amplifying. For example, if someone says, I love your cats, you could jokingly respond, That's what you think. Do you want them? This playful exaggeration adds humor without offending. Similarly, if someone mentions a guilty pleasure, you can amplify your disagreement with someone over the topic like, You like Nickelback? Well, that's my cue to leave. Done right, teasing brings energy and fun to conversations, helping you connect with others. Just remember to keep it light, positive, and focused on making the other person smile. A witty comeback is a clever way to bring humor and charm into any conversation, especially when faced with a teasing remark or light insult. By delivering a sharp, quick response, you can shift the tone, add fun to the interaction, and show off your mental agility. The secret to a good comeback is not about being harsh or defensive, but rather keeping things light and playful. To craft a great comeback, avoid falling into the trap of using generic responses like I know you are, but what am I? Instead, think of witty comebacks as a chance to show creativity. The best ones are delivered with a relaxed, almost indifferent tone, not full of excitement or aggression. Think of it like delivering a punchline with cool confidence, similar to how James Bond might throw out a one liner after escaping danger calm, collected, and a bit humorous. There are several ways you can approach a witty comeback. One method is to take someone's words literally and twist them in your favor, making the situation funny. Another is to agree with the insult but exaggerate it to an absurd degree, making the comment seem ridiculous. You could also flip the insult back on the other person, or you might use an outlandish comparison to bring humor into the exchange. For example, if someone teases you about your cooking, a witty comeback might be something like, Yeah, I'm thinking of using my pancakes as hockey pucks next time. It's playful, harmless, and keeps the conversation light. The key to use witty comebacks sparingly and in a way that keeps the mood fun and engaging. When done right, they help you steer the conversation, avoid awkward moments, and make a memorable impression without ever taking things too seriously. The main takeaway of this discussion, To the Art of Witty Banter by Patrick King, is that mastering the art of witty banter is about keeping conversations engaging, light, and enjoyable. By using structured techniques like asking open ended questions, injecting humor with comebacks, and playfully teasing, you can avoid awkward silences and build stronger connections. With the right tools, you will be able to navigate any conversation with ease and leave a lasting impression. The good news is that these methods are easy to learn and practice. So, with time, you will find yourself effortlessly maintaining lively and fun interactions in any scenario. Okay, that's it for this discussion. We hope you enjoyed it. If you can, please take the time out to leave us your feedback and subscribe the channel. We always appreciate your feedback. See you in the next one.